There are numerous forms of communication that shape our self-concept and personal growth, and there are multiple ways we can recognize examples in various interactions. First, we can talk about different forms of communication that shape our self-concept. Answering the first question, what is the self? The self is us, and we develop a self by communicating with others, whether in the workplace, at home with our families, or through the media. We take in and internalize many of these perspectives into our own identity. There are two ways ourselves are influenced by particular others, which are people who are important to us, like family members, which have a big influence on how we see ourselves early in life, and generalized other, which is social perspectives that we use to define ourselves and guides how we think and act that are influenced by society as a whole. Particular others often deliver direct definitions about ourselves that shape our self concept. They might boost our self esteem, they might say we are hardworking and we see ourselves in a good light, or someone can say we are lazy and it can impact how we view ourselves. We often reflect what we are commented. This can be good and bad. For example, if a friend comments how intelligent you are, you will start seeing yourself as an intellect. But it can also be bad when a bully comments that you are ugly. Then your self esteem can be troubled. We often reflect and project what we see and hear, and we also evaluate ourselves in relation to others. Good communication and bad communication shape our self concept, but there are guidelines that also affect us. It is learned from family or close others, and it can shape how we see ourselves and our future roles in life. This is called identity scripts. Finally, attachment styles affect how we relate to others based on early interactions. Can be from a babysitter or from our mother. A secure attachment style can lead to healthier relationships, while a fearful attachment style might make you apprehensive in close relationships. Moving on to generalize others. We are influenced to a broader societal perspective and use this to define ourselves, which can include things like culture, media, social interactions, or even gender. Our cultural background provides values. Media portrays ideals and lifestyles that affect our self perception. Daily interactions with others help us understand social roles and guides us how we think and feel. Gender is a huge factor in our self concept as there are norms placed. For example, a woman should be caring and understanding while a man should be tough and strong. Using everything we have learned, we have to gain and use knowledge to support our personal growth. We grow every day as people, and we learn something new that can change our perspectives. We can enhance our skills, learn, and practice regularly. For personal growth to be possible, we can set realistic goals and start with tasks that we can manage, and we must avoid self sabotage. Self sabotage is a major factor in personal growth and decreases the ability for us to use our talents as we talk ourselves down. Positive self talk builds motivation and belief in yourself. It is important to interrupt and challenge negative messages from yourself and others by being mindful of these influences and applying practical strategies for personal growth. We can shape a more positive self concept. Knowing this information and using it to better ourselves, we can move on and talk about how we perceive and interpret our world through perception. Through perception, we select, organize, and interpret information about people and situations. We select what is relevant to us and pay more attention to changes. We pick and choose according to our own needs. For example, if we like a product, we would ignore the negative reviews and focus on the positive ones, while others who dislike the product would do the opposite. Next is organization. We use constructivism to interpret our experiences by applying what is called schemata. We rely on four schemata to make sense of the world, which are prototypes, personal constructs, stereotypes, and scripts. Prototypes are ideal examples. So someone we believe is a perfect leader, a really good friend, or like a robin for the category bird rather than a penguin. We use prototypes to put the world into categories, but when we categorize too much, we can create traits that we use to judge people and create a personal construct. We can say someone is smart and someone is not, or someone can dress and someone cannot. Based on the category that we place individuals, we make generalizations about those individuals and assume their behavior. We create a stereotype and they are usually inaccurate. The last motto is script. This is expected actions that are appropriate in a setting, like a job interview. The third part of perception is interpreting. When we interpret, we create explanations and meaning to actions in ways that make sense to us. We create attributions, which is an account on why something unfolded the way it did. Attributions have four dimensions. Locus, which can be internal or external reasons for actions, like the heat made him upset. Second is stability, which is actions based on stable or temporary factors. Specificity is the third dimension and it states whether the cause is specific or global. And lastly, the fourth dimension is responsibility. We can hold ourselves to blame, or sometimes we choose external factors to blame and take responsibility. Perceptions vary among people. Through the three interrelated processes to our sensory abilities and psychologies, we are influenced by many factors in the world: culture and standpoint, age, social location, ethnic or racial groups, and our roles in society are just to name a few. Our ability to think abstractly affects perception and allows us for us to continue to develop it and improve our perceptions. We can understand others, we can clarify our perceptions with others, we can have mutual understandings, we can distinguish facts from inferences to make observations and not assumptions. As we understand perception, it helps us communicate effectively and interpret ourselves and self concept and personal growth more accurately.